What's going on, everybody? Austin here, and in this video, we are going to be taking a look at the Extra Points post-Week 9 NFL Power Rankings. So, we're going to get started where we always do, at the bottom of the barrel. Carolina just took a fat L to the Cincinnati Bengals. It was a rough L, so I can't be having them above Tampa Bay Buccaneers anymore. Now, Tampa Bay did get a lucky win, what I would consider a win that they didn't deserve against the LA Rams. Like, it's literally the definition of the football gods just trying to make Brady look better than he is. Steelers, Broncos on a bye. I try not to move teams on a bye. The Colts just fired their head coach. Now Jeff Saturday is the head coach, which is wild. Normally in this situation, I would bop them down to 30, but I still think they have too many good players to lose to Denver and Pittsburgh. Jacksonville moves up, just on account of the Colts being so bad. I mean, Jacksonville did get a good win, but it was a win that I expected. And the Texans, I still think that they're slightly better moving forward. I think the Jags have a higher ceiling than the Texans do, but I mean, the Texans have a serious defense. And then the Browns, that shouldn't say +3. That should just be even because they're on a bye. I forgot to take that out. So the Browns on a bye, they don't move from 25 either. Next out here, we've got the below average category. Some wild situations here. Looking at the Lions being, the 6 spots ahead of Green Bay. It's incredible. This far into the season, you wouldn't normally expect that, but Green Bay coming off of 5 consecutive losses, including 2 teams in this category being the Washington Commanders and the Detroit Lions. Green Bay just I think it's purely coaching. They have too good of a roster to be this bad. They should have fired Matt LaFleur a long time ago. The Commanders, I don't like Taylor Heineke as much as everybody else does. He's not better than Carson Wentz, but he's a little bit more mobile. So, with the Commanders having the worst offensive line in the league, it helps. The Raiders, you can't take an L to Jacksonville. With as good of a players as the Raiders have, it's not acceptable. The Bears, they 3 weeks in a row, I think they're finally starting to understand how Justin Fields plays. Up until this point, I was fully confident that they were just trying to draft Justin Fields so that they could ruin his future. But now they're basically just telling him, like, hey, just go be you, and it's seriously working. The Cardinals, I mean, they lost a close game to a better team, and I mean, that's just who they are. The Lions, I think they are still one of the best offenses in the league, and their defense has slightly improved over the last couple of weeks. I mean, it wasn't great against Miami, but it was very good against Dallas, and it was very good against Green Bay. We'll see what they can be moving forward, but overall, this is one of the most underrated teams to me in the league. The Titans, going up 2 spots, I think that's fair. The way that they played against Kansas City, I had so many questions because for the Titans, their wins this season have been over teams like the Raiders and the Colts and the Texans and just a lot of bad teams, and they have losses to the Bills and to the Giants, the only great teams that they played. And so they played Kansas City and they played them close, took them to overtime with a backup quarterback, mind you. That game could have gone a number of different ways. If just small minor plays get made for the Titans, and then the Rams. You can't lose a game that you had in hand. They were leading all game, and they just gave it away. You can't. It's unacceptable. So they dropped down 4 spots. Next, we have the above average category. The Falcons take what I would consider to be a decent loss at home against the Chargers. The Chargers, who were coming off of a bye, but they were injured. So, it's kind of like a flip flop. At home, the Falcons lose, so I bump them down 1. I still think the Saints would beat them in most games, though. The Saints, who, just kind of got manhandled by the Ravens. That's unfortunate for them. It's unfortunate for one of the teams that I thought was going to be one of the best in the league, but that's neither here nor there. The New England Patriots, they get a pretty good win against the Colts. The only reason I moved them up so far is just because I believe that they're better than the other teams. It's not like I thought that the win against the Colts was a move that would normally propel a team forward 3 spots. Seahawks, on the other hand, with a good win at home against the Giants, and then that what I would consider to be a great win on the road against the Cardinals, where they looked like they could have been down and out in the game. Geno Smith threw a pick six that very well could have turned the game, and they responded with, if I'm not mistaken, it was like 20 minutes worth of 2 drives, like 13 plays each for touchdowns. Just fantastic football all around by one of the best young teams in the NFL. The Chargers, I would have liked to have seen more of a dominating victory. I understand that they're banged up, but like the Chargers had such high expectations. We were talking about them being one of the, the 5 best teams in the league. And so, maybe the 12 spot, between 10 and 15 is where they're supposed to be. And this is just, me finally starting to get them down there. The Jets, probably the best win of the week, if not one of the best wins of the season. If they were to go on the road to Buffalo and basically do it again, obviously that'd be a great win. But, Zach Wilson's definitely starting to put things together. If he could get Elijah Moore integrated into the offense, that would be incredible. The Dolphins, they did just about what I expected them to, go to Chicago, give up a lot of points, put up a lot of points, barely win, not quite cover the spread. But we're going to see, how things work out. So far, they're still undefeated with Tua, which has to count for something. And then the New York Football Giants, who are on a bye. So, again, not going to try to move them around if I can avoid it. Bengals, they beat up on a bad team, and so they get rewarded by not really moving up or down. Now, the San Francisco 49ers were on a bye, but I had to drop them down just because I think the Raiders are getting too much momentum. And so far, San Fran, if you don't count the Rams, they don't really have a good win on the season. I mean, maybe Seattle, but, same thing with Dallas. Like, 2 teams on a bye. I really didn't want to move them down, but I couldn't not move Baltimore up after a great win on the road in a hostile environment on Monday Night Football. Without Mark Andrews, their best offensive weapon, not named Lamar Jackson. So that pretty sums up that right side. Over on the left, we take a look. Kansas City, I would have liked to have seen them dominate. I did enjoy the fact, as far as, if you're a Chiefs fan, the Brady aspect of it, where it's like, they could be down and losing the whole game, and then some random magical BS, they just decide, oh, we're going to win the game. That's them right there. Minnesota Vikings, they're moving up just because they're getting quality wins. I don't think that, the Cardinals or the Lions, any of these teams are just, particularly exceptional teams, but, they're one of the quietest 8-1 teams I've ever heard of. The Buffalo Bills losing on the road to the Jets is not okay, but the Jets are a really good team, a lot better than, people are really accepting so far. The reason why I'm not sure if they're 2 is because Josh Allen might have a torn something in his elbow, in his throwing arm, which if that's the case, then they're going to drop down about 10 spots because they're a great roster, but without Josh Allen, they don't have the engine that's making them go. And so, for the reason of the Philadelphia Eagles on a short week going across the country to Houston, playing what I would consider a very good defense of young players that are always going to be hungry, covering the spread. This Eagles team did exactly what they needed to do, just getting the win on Thursday Night Football, playing from behind early to start the game. And so far, they're very healthy. So for that reason, those reasons rather, I have the Eagles finally moving up to the number 1 spot in my power rankings. So thanks for watching this video. Be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and stay up to date on all of our future content.